almost an ASMR quality to it, just the way that she uses her microphone and the reverb and everything. I will say her first album, Galore, is definitely my favorite. I unfortunately don't own that on cassette, and I missed the vinyl release, and I've regretted it every day since. But if you want an almost ASMR-like electronic music experience, I would definitely recommend checking out Au Clues Galore, and of course her follow-up album, Joke Enough. She is very, very special, and I believe that she was pregnant while filming this music video and recording most of this album, and she didn't even know, but now she has the most adorable little baby. Up next, of course, we have my beloved Twin Peaks album. This is the soundtrack to Twin Peaks. It's all composed by Angelo Badalamenti. If you know anything about me, you know that I am a huge Twin Peaks fan, and I would say that it would be nothing without the music. The music is really what makes Twin Peaks so special. So if you are into soundtracks at all, then I definitely recommend giving this a shot. It is one of a kind, so beautiful, moving, at times haunting and disorienting, but one of the absolute best soundtracks of all time. I have to say that Angelo Badalamenti is probably my favorite composer, just behind Joe Hisaishi, who is the composer behind many of Studio Ghibli's movies. So, if you are into that sort of thing, I definitely recommend listening to this cassette. Up next, loosely related to Twin Peaks, is Julee Cruise's Floating into the Night. These two albums, they share tracks together, and Julee Cruise is such a wonderful vocalist, such a beautiful artist. She unfortunately passed away in 2024, and I don't want to talk about the circumstances because it is so sad. But Julee Cruise, you are one of a kind, and you are missed. Oh, and I forgot to choose my favorite tracks off of these albums. If I were choosing my favorite track off of the Twin Peaks cassette, it would definitely be the Twin Peaks theme. I absolutely love it. Otherwise, I would choose Freshly Squeezed. And then my favorite track off of Floating into the Night is most likely Floating. Floating is a song that always makes me and my husband think of our engagement trip and honeymoon in Snoqualmie, Washington. It just immediately brings me back, and when I listen to that song, I can feel the mist from the waterfall peppering my face and the cold air blowing through my hair, and it's such a wonderful feeling. I don't know how to describe it. Up next, we have Mazzy Star's So Tonight That I May See. This, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best album of the 1990s. I think that Mazzy mixtape. It has Among My Swan and She Hangs Brightly on it. I believe Among My Swan is side A and She Hangs Brightly is side B. If I had to choose my favorite tracks off of these, it would have to be Roseblood and, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of the song, but the one off of She Hangs Brightly that goes, Shirley, don't stay long, I'm missing you now. That song. Excuse my poor memory. Falling in line with mixtapes, I made this mixtape of various unreleased songs that are not available on any streaming platforms. They're not available in any physical media. They were just released online and then taken down. I don't have a track list listed out here, but my favorite songs on here, one is by an artist named Blankets. The song is titled Where Somebody May Find Me. I believe that Blankets passed away, and I mean, that is heartbreaking. They were a really wonderful musician, and I believe you can only find a recording of that song somewhere onto SoundCloud or on this cassette tape. My other favorite song on here would have to be by an artist named ATTX. It is a song titled Still Side. That I heard in an Adult Swim bumper, and maybe not a bumper, but on some kind of a short on Adult Swim, and it was like such a beautiful transcendental track, I had to save it. Otherwise, I do have some unreleased Alice Glass remixes on here that you can only find on YouTube videos, as well as Lana Del Rey's Never Let Me Go, which, if you're a Lana Del Rey fan, you know how difficult that song is to find. So I had to burn it onto this cassette so that I would always have it available to me. That's one of my favorite love songs of all time, so I had to have it. Up next, I have this vaporwave mixtape that I made. I could not tell you most of the track titles on this mixtape because they're in Japanese or random numbers and symbols, but my absolute favorite track on here is one you cannot find on streaming either. It is, oh my gosh, the name is escaping me, but it's Wave Step by Blank Banshee, and that was removed from streaming for whatever reason, but that's gotta be my favorite vaporwave song of all time. Up next, I have a mixtape that I made of various witch house artists. So I have a lot of Crystal Castles on here. I have Snow Strippers. I have Sidewalks and Skeletons, Susie Shear, and many other witch house artists. Crystal Castles was one of my favorite bands for many years. It's not the most relaxing music, of course, but very special. And if you know that Crystal Castles had a very tragic backstory and a very tragic end. So if you are looking for a fix for that kind of music with maybe a little bit of a modern twist, then I definitely recommend checking out Snow Strippers. They make up about half of this tape that I made. This one does not have such a cute cover, just a track list, but it's my 80s jukebox mix. It, of course, has Tears for Fears, it has The Smiths, Depeche Mode, it does have Cold Cave. I know that Cold Cave did not record music in the 80s, but it's 100% 80s inspired, so I had to include them. Anyone who knows me knows that the 80s were was one of the best musicians of the 70s, in my opinion, only beaten by Elton John. I love Elton John, probably more than Joe Walsh, but Joe Walsh will always have a special place in my heart, of course. If I had to choose a favorite track off of this, it would have to be Rocky Mountain Way. I love that song, and that is my dad's favorite song in the world. Up next, I do have 2 more albums, and those are Love Deluxe and The Best of Sade. I love Sade. My best friend, Katarina, Sade is one of her favorite artists of all time, and she showed me her music, and Sade is so special, so one of a kind. She makes such romantic and soothing music. If I had to describe her music, it's like sitting in clean linen pajamas on a beautiful plush white couch. You're barefoot and you're sipping red wine. She is